So I don't think the storm hit as bad. I mean, there's still a lot of snow, a lot of blowing and ice. You can hear the crunchiness. Try to back down the windmill. Chris is going to get ready to snow plow. The snow trucks have been out. But it is mighty blistery cold. So icy roads, I'm sure, with the blowing. It's still snowing. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's definitely still snowing. Yeah, there he goes out to the barn. All dressed to get the tractor out. Door's frozen. Oh, where you have that? Oh, blistery. It's like ice on snow. I'm not dressed for the weather. I just popped out to see what he was doing. Oh, yes. Take down my Christmas stuff until I got some more totes. And so I just ordered some off of Amazon. I believe they'll match the other totes I have. I don't know. Are you a matchy person or not? But yes, I needed some more totes to put my Christmas stuff in. So now I can take Christmas down. Which kind of is sad, but it's time. So I think the person that's going to be the most sad about the tree coming down isn't a person at all. It's going to be Peach. He absolutely loves that. I know our house is a little bit of a mess, but that's what you do. You take down the decorations, you clean, and then you redecorate, right? It's perfect to do in this winter blizzard. I don't know if it's a blizzard, it's a snowstorm. There's a lot of it. And it's still coming down. So I think I'm just going to go around. I'm going to look for like my ponies for Christmas because those need to go back into the Hallmark boxes. And then everything else can go into a tote. There they go away for another year. These could probably go into a Ziploc. A lot of my bulbs are just kind of on there. They're not necessarily like on a hook or anything. It was just easier. And then that way you get it all filled in. So this is the first time this tree has gone off since we put it up. We even left it on overnight. Just really love the lights. That's off. I think of all the decorations that I bought this past Christmas season, that I fell in love with the most was these prized possessions. I think of the vintage Santas. Though some think they're creepy and a little bit odd, I absolutely enjoyed each and every one of them. In my original 11 from the auction, I think I found a few more in my travels and treasure hunting, but packing them all up until next year. And as I take down my Christmas stuff, I'm trying to kind of gather it as it's all the same. So I know that I have some Santa Clauses in a couple of my cabinets. I have another little Santa Claus over here by my coffee cups, my Santa mug coffee cups. So I need to put them in there. There's room for those. So just trying to kind of gather like items. So when I open the tote, even though I probably can't say that I'm going to decorate the same next year, you just never know. Now it's time to gather all the Santa mugs up, though I'm hoping that I find more of all these items, the Santas and the Santa mugs throughout this whole year. Trying to remember, when you're out thrifting and secondhand shopping, if you see any of these little treasures, of course, to pick them all up. I'm not really worried about wrapping them per se because we have a spare bedroom that's really not used for anything. So we decided that we would just have totes in there of all the Christmas decor, since I kind of filled the area up with things that I wanted to use to do DIYs and crafts that I couldn't stop buying. So I had filled up all those totes, and now I didn't have any room for my own Christmas decor that I wanted to keep for myself. So they're really not traveling that far and are not going to get bumped around and moved by any means. Oh, all the home decor got stuffed in the weird closet. Not creepy with those guys up there, is it? Nope, not at all. Oh, I have a lot of stuff to bring back out, though. Oh, no. My distinguished gentleman's going to not have his bow. I think that's light enough to go in the bulb box. So here's the bag for the tree. Does it really fit, y'all? Do you have a bag for your tree? So this guy is supposed to fit inside that bag. Chris is in from plowing, so he's going to help with that.
Wheels even.
Ooh, I guess it is big. It is big. I told you our house is a mess, so it's part of taking stuff down. I don't know. What's the extra?
Well, there's wheels for the bag.
Oh. Oh, I see there is.
And hardware.
Oh, hold on. I didn't see that.
There's hardware.
They're hardware. Well, that's a very complicated bag, isn't it? Okay, some assembly required. Guess it does get heavy with the tree in there.
Well, it'll be nice because then we can roll it in the closet and roll it back out.
If it fits in the closet.
You could have them different ways. Kind of like a white wall in or out on your tires.
Oh, fancy tires. That's it for the hardware. The hardware was 2 tires and an Allen wrench. That's quite the bag, I guess.
This is a big one. It's got seat belts on the inside.
We're not going to talk about, I think it's a body bag. I don't know. That's a little weird. Oh, you can name it in case you're traveling with it.
Yeah, well, nice thing about it is I can put the remote.
Oh, and we'll be like, where's that remote next year?
And we'll watch this video and we'll know where it's at.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's see if it comes out. Okay. Do you put the biggest one in first?
No, I put the smallest one in because that's the way I'm going to put it back together next year.
Oh, see how. What if I put it back together? Next year.
Well, watch the video.
That's right. I said it hadn't been off since we put it up. Oop,
The nice
I
thing
forgot
about it
one.
is you flip it upside down, and it pretty much collapses on its own.
It's like an umbrella.
Reverse
I
on
see
that.
one bulb. There's always that one bulb you miss, right, guys? So like you think you got them all, and then there's one bulb in there.
Oh. I thought you meant like
Ornament. One ornament.
I do think the box when this came out was much smaller.
Well, it was shrink wrap, though. Yeah. That could be nice to be able to fit the galvanized pan in there if it that fit.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that?
For you.
It's for me. Sure does make your house look bare. And then I had to put the fake snow in it just to help Chris out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, another bulb?
Mm-hmm.
Hey. They blended with the snow. That's that's what I'm using.
Well, I think we'll be using snow from now on, too.
Yeah. Usually. I don't know, he might be able to fit that galvanized bucket in there. I don't know what that was. That was that's the big one. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not the galvanized bucket. I was saying that before the third piece was in. But I can go get a garbage bag and put the snow in so we can reuse that next year before he closes it up. So I put the snow in might as well reuse it next year. I say that, but...
Yeah, there's plenty of room in there for that. The galvanized bucket,
No,
not so much.
I think if you would have set it on its side and then stuffed everything in there... I'll just be quiet.
I think there's room for the bow.
The bow? The bow? Probably. Oh, it's always such a mess. That is a big bag.
I don't think it stands up very well, though.
Thought this would be the perfect day for a pot of chili. It's cold, blistery cold. Chris could probably use something to warming. I got all the Christmas decorations down and taken care of, and before I get all the decorations, my decor pieces back out, it would be good to have a pot of this simmering. So I don't know how you all make your chili, but something just simple. Nothing too extravagant. For the first time ever, I bought a McCormick's chili mix, and I thought, well, give it a try. But I do love to use like diced tomatoes that have basil, garlic, and oregano already in them. So that has some more spices. I'm a spice person. I really like spice. How about you? Especially chili. I want it to be spice it's, you know, like flavorful. I don't want it to be like hot where I have to drink water after every bite. But yeah, I tried this McCormick mix. Have you all tried that before? And it was actually really good. So I needed 2 of them because I had 2 pounds of hamburger. So I'm not sure exactly. I didn't like read the ingredients of every little spice that's in there, but I thought that would be perfect because a lot of times it's like you add chili powder and you taste, and you add chili powder and you taste, and yeah. So, and I am like a soup chili type of person, so I always add V8 juice in for the soupiness, the liquid. Some people like a thicker, like, you know, corn, like hot dog chili type of chili. Everybody kind of makes it a little bit different, but I like the V8 juice because it kind of gives it that kick. And since it's just Chris and I eating this chili, I buy the cans of V8 juice. That way I'm not wasting a whole bottle. It's not anything that either of us are going to drink. So the cans, though they're a little bit more pricey, are worth the investment because you can get a 6-pack and just use a couple cans. We're sitting there after eating some chili and enjoying a little bit of TV before I get started. And I have been thinking about this wall for a while. That wall behind that chair has just been bothering me, that it's empty and I just can't envision like hanging anything on it. But I did think that that cupboard with our entertainment piece is a little bit on the crowdy side. So since Chris is home and I don't want to hurt the legs by trying to slide this cabinet over to the space on the carpet, even with carpet movers, I still, if he's home, and I'm going to take his help. So here we go, testing it out, you know. Even though you move the piece of furniture, that doesn't mean that's always where you're going to leave the piece of furniture. Do you all do that when you take down your Christmas decorations? I don't know if it's because the house just looks so bare. That is like the inspiration and the motivation to start moving pieces around, not only your decor, but some of your furniture pieces. It's not like we can change the size of our rooms by any means, you know, or do a total like tear down your wall remodel kind of thing. I think it's just the easy fix of moving a piece from here to there. So I knew as soon as we started to move this piece and then seeing it on that wall, I was going to hate myself. And I'm sure Chris was rolling his eyes. And I'm like, you know, I really would like to take that window and shutters down and put it against that wall. I knew right away I did not love it. I want something there, but that was not what I think I wanted. So you know, this was that room with that textured wall that I said, I'm not going to move stuff around. I lie. I just lie. I'm like, yeah, you know when you know, and I knew that I wasn't loving on it. Yeah, I really wasn't going to like where we were going to have to put the chair back. That is the world's most comfortable chair, I tell you what. Um, so it's a piece that we want to fit in there. And I don't think like the tippage, the way that you have it, that was going to have to be. It just really needed to be against this wall. And I absolutely love this window, and Chris made the shutters to go with the windows, but I'm not going to get rid of them. I'll just move them somewhere else. For me, I always start off like with the foundation piece, a large piece, which is the cabinet when I'm doing decor. So once I finally get it in a place that I like it, or my largest piece that I know that is it, that's where I want that piece to be, then I start building around it. Now I have my large antiquing sign that I made out of a random board. We've never really figured out what the board was from, but this sign was behind a cupboard that we just did, and we moved Chris's a whole bunch of his antique metal cars and trucks and that whatnot, and we used a Rusty Krusty sign to go with that, and I love the sign. So I was hoping it was going to fit and it wasn't going to be too big for the space. But I love that it hangs over the sides a little bit. I love that it's oversized. Got all my decor pieces out of that closet, and now I can see what I have and I can start decorating. How does the chair work? Can I move the chair out enough, be able to open that cabinet door, be able to put some decor around it? Does that all play on each other? Is that going to work? And I would have liked not to have done voiceovers, but if you know Chris and you follow this channel enough, he is a football fan and we are into the playoffs. So the TV is in the background, so I have to do a voiceover. So I'm testing out some of my ironstone pieces, seeing if I like them there, but then you kind of have to just move stuff and you have to see if you like it or not. Because those are two of the pieces I had in my Christmas decor, and I thought, oh, I think that I like that. But as we shared with you in our last video, we got Tater. And Tater, at the Humane Society where Tater was at, they built climbing walls and a climbing ceiling. Every inch of that enclosure for the cats was a scratch pad, a climbing something or other. So I have to rethink that cupboard because it's right next to the couch, and Tater thinks that it's up there for him to climb on. I'm completely level. I'm asking for a lot. No. Should have had him grab the putty. I didn't think about that. Yeah, there you go. Just leave it. So as not to be in Chris's way the entire time while he's watching playoffs, and he offered to go into the garage and to the bar area, but we kind of turned the radiant floor heat down because it is so cold to get more heat into the house. So this is what this space looks like. Let me do a little bit of a close-up. So I did want my ironstone pieces to be up there, my old Bibles, which the Bibles then match the black of the sign, but then you can still read the sign. I love that little pop of the cream and those berries, a little rosary, and the nice thing about the swans being wood and white painted, they match the sign. Now I painted this cupboard, love this cupboard, and I love that I kept the brown inside. Let me open it up. So we have some crockery, which then the crockery, the color goes with the berry color. I am such a matchy-matchy person. And I changed my cupboards out to be more matchy, more of a collection. So I have some crockery with some England crockery, an inkwell, and then I have old brushes. So that is, usually I had them kind of mixed throughout my cabinets, but I decided to change it up a little bit because that's the fun. Because the crockery color, though it's not a complete match, kind of goes with the chair. So I did put some more of my ironstone pictures. I kind of tried to find 3 that were like, smaller in size, but then that ties in with the ironstone on the top with some wooden items brought in to match the wooden on the brushes. And then I did have a little ironstone picture with underneath a cloche with some vintage little metal register tags. And then we did some more crockery with some more of those berries underneath. I might steal those berries for somewhere else, and then I just purchased, I'll share with you on my other cabinet, where I purchased that cute label. I love it. Just got that off Etsy. So then if we back up, I was able to tie these in, my old soup cases that I got for like next to nothing at an auction. I really haven't cleaned them up too much. I love them as is, and I'm afraid to wax them. I don't want to change that patina. But that color then matches like the oranges color you can see without the, there we go, I step in front of the light, you know, the wood. So that all ties together. And then we had Chris hung the shutters, which were two separate shutters, and he came pretty darn close to getting those even. And then that's one of my music wreaths with some darker, older vintage music wreath. But that all plays on each other. The woods, the painted woods, match perfectly. I loved having the vintage fan, though it was a little bit on the short side to see behind the chair, so I used an old drawer, and that worked out perfectly. So I really absolutely love the space now. Love it.
I think there's laughing.
So now what did I replace the cupboard with but the window? Just a simple single window. I love it. I wanted to keep that space kind of empty on the carpet there, only because, yet again, Tater the kitten. Plus Peach loves to play too. So I liked keeping that space kind of clear so that they have space to play. So the dough bowl that was on the table for Christmas is right here, and then my other dough bowl right in front of it. And then our little subwoofer is kind of hidden behind there. Distinguished gentleman came out here. I am glad. I'd love to enjoy him right there, and I was afraid that he was going to be too tall for the TV. And then I really was struggling with the space, like what to put next to him or behind him or something that kitty cat couldn't knock over. And we just by chance ran into the antique mall because we were both going a little stir crazy and ran into this beautiful spool cupboard. Though Chris is going to fix the top and it needs a little bit repair, so it was a really good deal at $100, y'all. That's a wonderful deal because yes, the top is cracked, it's warped. So he will show you all a video of how he's going to restore that. And you can kind of see some of the wording. So yes, it's just one of the old spool cabinets that usually at auctions go for a few $100s. Definitely not $100, but yeah, I love this little cupboard here because that's a low rise. And I know I usually had my cast iron animals on there. I just tucked those away for right now, and I wanted to just have something different. And of course, already Tater has been on top of that, so as I knew he would. I had a bright idea to put on TV for cats on YouTube. Do y'all know about that? Like bird watching, squirrels, and stuff like that. I wasn't sure, since he was 6 months old, if he would be interested in that, why I was trying to do some editing for the Ginger Chick channel. Not given that, oh yeah, he's probably going to climb on the pieces to get closer and try to attack. Because, you know, in his little 6 months of his life, he's never seen a TV before, but they had a huge window and an outdoor enclosure that they could go in and out of. So, yeah, he was in love with this, though I was a little bit nervous that he kept jumping up trying to catch something, so I changed it over to this other like little random, and he wasn't jumping quite as much, but it did keep him entertained. And we decided to keep I did anyway, keep the coffee table empty because everything was getting pushed off it. And then somehow a couple weeks ago, Peach decided that he liked to drink out of a little glass of water. So next thing you know, even though he has a fancy aluminum, recycled water powered, yeah, now, isn't that funny what we do for our animals? And of course, Tater was right along, loving on the glass of cold water that gets refilled all the time. Can we say spoiled? But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. I have been trying to get my hands on a right size chicken feeder that is clean enough to bring into the house to put some of my ironstone plates on it. I see Instagram pictures of this and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Though I wasn't really sure after I got it at the auction. One, I don't have enough plates, and two, I wasn't really sure like where I was going to put it because I don't have that type of open cabinetry. Are you helping? Are you my helper? Yeah, he's my helper. I dug out some of my smaller plates. Well, they're not the same size, but you know, that's the fun, is that we just use what we have and then we hunt and search for some more. So I don't need to have this little toast, I'm not sure what it was, but you know, the nice thing about being a reseller is I know that I can resell it. So here's where I decided the distinguished gentleman, the Black Swan, came down. This was really the only space that I had for this. I wanted you to be able to see the ironstone emblem stamping at the bottom, so that's why I chose to put it that way. And then I can hunt for some more plates. I know you always hear our clock, but I love it. So do you want to see the inside of what I did with this cupboard? Now I really love buying from Etsy, eBay, stores like that, because I know that they're small business, just like I am. I'm small business. But I was so honored where I got a simple letter because the Etsy store that I bought from happened to be a viewer of our channel. I was so completely blessed. So that was, thank you so much for the note. I'm not sure if she watches both channels or just the one channel, but she makes these. They are beautiful. They're antiqued, wonderful. And there is a whole bunch in the pack. So I'll definitely link her Etsy store down in the description. Though I'm sure you could use just like a simple name card holder, I love to use a vintage flower frog, and look at how perfect that fits. So then I can take it over to the cupboard and I can stuff it right in. I love that little pop of color that goes with some of my aged English crockery. What is the chances that both stores I bought from off of Etsy were both fans of the channel? Oh my God, y'all don't even know how humbled I feel. But I bought some larger vintage register tags that I've never come across them. I've always wanted to. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to buy some. And I'm totally happy I did, and they came in time for when I was going to be redecorating. And you know how it is, you kind of have to play with them and figure out which way you're going to like them. They don't always all have to be into the same container by any means. So though I didn't do like a one-by-one decorating of each shelf this time, I will just share with you how I decorated each shelf. So I have some of my vintage English, my marmalade. This is my one of my new purchases that I found at an antique store for $18. Oh, yucky, bone marrow, ideal fat food for children and invalids. Oh, so glad we do. I rather eat the marmalade. I definitely, oh, yucky. So then I just did a little ironstone bowl stack. I stuck a flower frog in there to rise it up with another vintage one that didn't have this little sugar, that didn't have the lid. And the same thing, I used some wooden blocks and a flower frog to rise the sign because I love that aged paper. Y'all know I do. And then I put my butter stacks under a little cloche, and we got another little flower frog with some more little vintage price, register tags, and a bigger ironstone pitcher with some butter molds. And then we just slide down here. And then, yes, I love the register tags, that pop of color. I thrifted this a little while ago. It is like a penny separator. It's an older penny separator. And I love that little lettering that's on there, that numbering. And then I have some more of the vintage. As I tell you, I am so glad that we do not have to eat like that anymore. I'm potted ham. Is that like, was this like the first Spam? I'm not sure. But yes, and then look at the little containers of potted meats. I know we all drink or eat probably way too much now. Oh, I still got some Christmas glitter in there. Oh, it's on my floor now. There we go. And then I decided I wanted to keep the green bowls in that I had just purchased. And I love the blue bottles. And so I just decided to just put a lot of them in there. I have more, but I just put a lot of them in there. And I just like that little collection. And then I did, for a little bit of height, I put that on just a little aged block, aged box, just for a little bit height. But see how that coloring of her tags go with the English crockery, the aged paper. It all flows. And then same thing. There we go. We got butter pats and marmalade jars and potted meats. And one of my newest purchases, I purchased a group of I don't even remember how many were in maybe 10 vintage clock faces off of eBay. It was an auction and I was the only one. So I think I got them for like $30. So that was their starting price. You know, I appreciate people buying from me, and I'm going to buy from others. So I love the color of those. Though I have plenty to spare. And the same thing, I just stacked these two little bowls in, put some more of the blue bottles in there, a couple little flower frogs. We got some ironstone pitchers, and then I grouped my favorite shape ironstone pitchers on the bottom shelf. So I have this space over here that I did. I had this face, and then this one, and then one of my Big Ben antique clocks. I just put some salvaged wooden pieces that I had in here, some more of those little berries. I did have some of my evergreens in there, but that was one of the things, even though fakey, it was attracting taters, so I put some Sweet Annie in there. I love the top of this cupboard. Since I changed out the other cupboard, I had this pretty much over where Chris put his metal vehicles. So I love it there, I do. I usually had like all my Firkins sugar buckets on there, but I like them stacked like that. I think they look really pretty. I had to rearrange because I stole out a lot of my ironstone this season in my pie safe. So I kind of had to rearrange how that was going. I told you, I love ironstone, y'all. I love rusty crusty. The scales stayed. And so I didn't really redecorate other than kind of fill everything back in. So if you want a closer view, for those of you who have never seen the inside of how I decorate. Oh, hold on. Those need to be straightened. Yeah, never, even if you find pieces and parts that went to something, they're still cool salvaged. I mean, like the brass tags from a cow's tag, they're old, they're vintage. A Bible stack with a rosary on it. Just some little accents to go with the white. Love it. And then the last little place I will share with you, let me flip a light on in here so you can see it better, is this little corner cabinet. I did change it up. This is a mantle clock that we got from my sister for our wedding gift, so we will always keep this. As you see, it's a Howard Miller. Chris loves to wind these clocks, so that's one of the clocks you hear all the time. So I love Big Bens. I had an idea for those clock faces when I purchased them. One of my pictures is down here. So in her vintage tag, she had clocks, so hello. And then I just stuck a simple Bible in one of the pictures with a black rosary, an old rusty crusty Big Ben. And then on the bottom shelf, we've got another clock face, a Big Ben, a plastic horse toy, and a wood. I mean, it's amazing what you can put together as decor. And then I wanted to make sure I saved this bottle cup holder that I had my Santa mugs on. So I'm like, I wonder if I have enough little pitcher creamers, and I think I do. So then I just stuck, I like this little clock face and this card holder. And I'm not really sure about this guy, but he's rusty crusty and he's really cute. So I thought I would leave him right there for right now. You know, it's all about tweaking. So I said we have two of these mantle clocks. So this mantle clock is from 1918. It's dated on the back. So that's the other clock you hear. If you ever hear a clock chiming, that's what you're hearing. And I just kept this just simple. Another one of those clock faces with some of my baby Bens, some old books, some old brass pieces. That's just a cast iron pig that I've had him forever with his red lips. And then this beautiful kaleidoscope, which both of those pieces were a Goodwill find. And then if you're wondering what's hanging, I still left some of my winter, like those are just skate like covers. I left my snowshoes out, and then I took the red bow off my skis. So it's still winter. I just didn't, and I won't know about this greenery yet. For some reason, Tater loves to chew on the greenery. Oh, I guess I have more than one space. So when I was doing my decor, I know that I have a love of old wood. And a buffet is probably not the best place for all my old wood. Peach. Oh, there goes Peach. You would like me to play with him right now. Tater's somewhere sleeping. But, so I ended up just displaying all my old wood pieces here. I love it. You know, putting them in a jar, putting them under a cloche, just laying them down. Stuck in some of my old Bibles, my cute little old for rent, and of course I'm always trying to cover the thermostat. I wish that they both were white. I don't know how to paint that. I could paint it, but anyway, I'm not going to. So yeah, so that's what that little space looks like. If I ever had to take it all down because we were entertaining, you know. That would be a lot of stuff. Good thing we only entertain on big holidays. And then I couldn't do it. I could not put these away. I ended up putting them on top, taking my black globe down and putting these on top of my yummy Fenton hobnail swung vase cupboard with my Bibles. So this is the toy. If you hear in the background, it's moisture censored, and all the cats love that toy from Amazon. Absolutely love it. So Peach is probably on the prowl looking for Tater. But yeah. Let's see if he'll play with it. He'll think about it, but he's on camera. The things we do for our loved ones. So yes, it was about time. I was procrastinating, waiting for some totes to come to be able to take my Christmas decor down. It seems like a lot of people take it down right after Christmas, the day after Christmas, the week after Christmas. Heck, I've had it up even longer before. I've gone into like the 1st of February before, but it was time. A snow day was the perfect opportunity. We bowed out of going to an auction. It was an hour away. It's not worth risking driving, even though there wasn't really a lot of side roads into it. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Sometimes you take those God week moments and you stay home and you get some work done. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging with Chris and I today. Yep, packing away Christmas is always sad. Your house always looks bare, but it gives you a refresh. It gives you a renew. It's a reason to change things out. And I absolutely love to decorate, and I love to share with you all of how I decorate and share my collections with you all and my fur babies. I'm going to consider Chris a fur baby with that beard going on there. So again, thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out the Journey channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, don't forget to hop over to GingerChickRehab if that's not where you hopped over from, and see my thrift flips, my second-hand pre-loved item makeovers. I love to do all kinds of crafts. So thanks again for watching. We will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.